do that.
Okay, well, thank you everyone for coming to the CS Club's Math Soc little presentation. Um, we'll begin with some introductions before diving into the slides. So nice to meet everyone. I'm Gordon. I am a fourth year CS student at Waterloo, and I am the vice president of our CS Club. Did you guys want to introduce yourselves as well?
Sure. I'm Neil. I'll be fourth year mechatronics engineering student next year, and I am the treasurer this term.
Nice. I'm Callan. I am currently 4A CS student, and I am currently the president of CSE.
Cool. Okay. What's the next slide?
Sorry, here, let me. So, oh, okay, ignore that slide. But I'll talk about our vision and goals. So I don't know, do you want me to go at it?
Yeah, go.
Okay, you can take it on after the 3 pillars, but basically we'll tell you a little bit about like what CSE is about and what we do here, what we're kind of like aiming for, and then kind of like inform you on like whether or not you want to like join us or just like join our community and use our services. So overall, like CSE focuses on 3 pillars as seen here. So like academic, career, and community. We're basically like all the events that we do, all the initiatives that we do are focused on these 3 things. And we're hopefully using like these 3 pillars to support like our student community. So academic wise, this would be stuff like we're building out a CS class profile, the first CS class profile that's ever been made. We're currently doing that. And then we're also trying to increase academic representation, visibility for CS people. And just like generally supporting people as they go through like their Waterloo experiences. And then career-wise, it's stuff like interview prep or like resume help, and just whatever comes up that people need for their job searches. We have a Discord channel where we do like impromptu resume critiques, and people also ask like general career questions. And then speaking of the community, we have pretty vibrant Discord community. We have a pretty large CSE community in general, members or not, but we have a lot of social events. We have like speed friending, we have after hours, which is our mental health talk series, where we talk about topics we don't normally talk about. And just like a whole slew of game nights and movie nights, and there's one coming up this Friday. So definitely want to be able to push for the community, especially for students who may not have a cohort, talking about like math or CS students. And even for people who do have cohorts, such as like engineering students, we want to be able to provide like the ability to reach more people and connect with different people. And just in general, like the stuff on the side, like CSE is a community where students can resonate and identify with. We want to be able to provide helpful resources and events, and we have UW computing students in mind, allowing them to grow and learn. And not just computing students, like anyone can join. So, okay. I just realized the order of these slides. Okay, so anyways, this is what I talked about. I won't go over it again, but basically academic, give course support, give like technical support, help with projects. We have project program, increase visibility of MathSoc reps. And then career-wise, speaker talks. We had Titus talks, so like Google senior staff engineer. And we also had like career support, career advice, exposing people to different opportunities. A lot of people do post like different opportunities or like send out emails where we are able to convey this information to our members. And then like community, just like building a bridge between people and letting people like meet other people in the community. Yeah. I don't know if you want to go into this further.
Yeah, can we go back to the 3 pillar slide just for a little summary? Yeah. So yeah, everything Callan said really kind of represents what we do as a club and what we strive to, I guess, provide for the students at Waterloo. She mentioned that we have this event called Project Program. And for those that don't know, it's basically like a month-long hackathon of sorts where we felt that a lot of students are always interested in making side projects, but they don't really have the motivation, or they can't really allocate their time properly to actually create this project, right? So with Project Program, we paired up mentees, so people that are actually coding and making the project, with other like-minded people, and we paired those teams up with mentors to help guide, to help brainstorm ideas, and to help like milestone out a project, and create a project timeline of sorts, so that from the beginning to end, you'll be able to, I guess teams will create a project, right? And that's just one of like the many initiatives that we're running here at CSC to help support students, in their academic and their career success. And yeah, I think a really big pillar for me personally is community. That's something that, as a now fourth year CS student, this has definitely been lacking. CS is a really, really large program, over 400 students per year. And we get, I guess, in first and second year, a lot of the courses we take are not specific to CS students. It's like general math students as well. So you get grouped into 2,000 students roughly, and it's really hard to kind of find familiar faces in your classes and to feel that sense of community. If you compare this to engineers, each class is roughly 100 people. They take all their courses together, so there's that bond that is developed there. But that doesn't really happen as much in CS. And Callan and I both have noticed this, and that's why we decided to join CSC and kind of really push this community aspect. And yeah, like she said, we have a Discord server with over 1,300 members. It's relatively active. Pretty much you'll find someone on there every day, whether that's studying or just chilling, talking to other people. Yeah, it's really great to have seen how our community has grown throughout the past year, despite the pandemic and having everything be transitioned to online. But yeah, for next term, we're excited to make a return to somewhat in-person learning, hybrid learning. And so we'll be able to run some more in-person events and to kind of build that in-person community more. Neil, did you want to add anything, or?
Yeah, no, that's everything. Community, the three pillars definitely a lot of things actually kind of they cross, right? Like we have events about, let's say, like a technical event, but we also have like Project Program, for example. You have the academic, but it's also sort of community, right? Because you have other people you're paired with and whatnot. So we try to merge those all together. And also for next term, like we will have in person, but we'll also have online events as well. So if you're not going to be Waterloo, don't worry, we'll have events for you as well.
But yeah, we can go down to what CSC is. Callan, did you want to take this one
Yeah.
again?
I guess I mean, this is just like a more high level thing, but basically we're a club, we're an org, and we're here for the students. Like we're also students ourselves, and we know like how hard it is to go through Waterloo without like much of a community or like much help in general. So we want to be there for them, or for like everyone basically, and want to make sure that people have access to like events or resources or just like, I don't know, friends, new people to talk to. And we want to make sure that people have a good experience at Waterloo. And that's generally what we're trying to aim for. And yeah, that's like a very like overall thing. And then I don't know how relevant these slides are, but basically like, I guess I just wanted to say that like, I don't know, CSE is like here for you. We're here to like bring you other resources as well. And we're here to like make sure that these resources are like visible for all people. So like we'll definitely be advertising stuff from like Tech Plus, from DSC, from Wix, or just like wherever. We're not like overly competitive. We just want to make sure that we're bringing the best experience to the people in our club. And yeah, and we're not exclusive. Like we want to make sure that everyone gets these resources. Our events are open to everyone, although like our services are only for club members. But overall, like everything that we do, like what we've talked about, speed friending, project program, these are open to everyone, and we want to be able to support everyone. And it's not just like CS people. Like Neil here is not in CS, you know, he's in Tron. And we definitely welcome like everyone, like whether or not you're in some like a computing background or not. But yeah, just something I wanted to mention.
Yeah, some of the friends I've made from CSC, like one of my friends from CSC, who's a pretty close friend, is electrical engineering. Another friend, I have two friends from physics who are also in CSC, friends from environment. So if you are or one of your friends are not in CS or anything, even not in computer related program, but you're interested in coming, please feel welcome to come. We'll be happy to have more people.
Yeah. Same with our like online communities. So whether like IRC or like I don't know, Discord, feel free to join all of them regardless if you're a member. And then I don't know, we could talk a little bit about membership, like how to actually be an official member. I don't know. Did someone else want to take these slides?
I can take them, sure. So the official way to join CSC as a official member is to complete these 3 steps that you see on your screen. You need to send an email to syscom@csclub.uwaterloo.ca with 3 items: a scan or a photocopy of your walk card. I know for some first-year students that started in the past year, you may not have a walk card, but there is a way to request one online, I believe, like a PDF format of that. So we unfortunately cannot sign you up officially until you have that. And then your WattIM user ID, which is like the combination of letters and numbers that you use to sign into like learn and stuff. And then your acknowledgement of having read, understood, and agreeing with the machine usage policy. So that's just like a one-liner that basically repeats that exact sentence. And yeah, if you want to see more details and kind of see, and actually read the machine usage policy, then the link is csclub.uwaterloo.ca/get started. Callan has put it in the chat.
Yeah, like I guess to become an official member, you do have to be a student at Waterloo, so that's not really relevant to you until next term. So you can just bookmark that URL and come back to it in September. So don't worry about memorizing these steps. We've explained them in detail on the website. So just bookmark that. And September, if you're either come by the office or do the online process, and we'll get you signed up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just to be clear, you don't have to. If you want to just hang out and come to events, this is not a requirement. So feel free to start, hopping on our Discord and just coming to events, and you can still do that now if you feel like.
I think there are some technicalities about like rewards, or like if you enter like a raffle, you have to be like an official member.
Yeah.
Or things like that. But in general, our events are definitely like open to most people. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so typically a CSC membership will also cost you $2, so a toonie. Last term and the term and this current term, these fees were waived because we've been in a remote learning environment. So those fees were waived, but in the fall it may come back. So keep in mind that there may be a $2 fee. Oh, there may be a $2 fee, but I think it's very worth it. There are a lot of things that you can gain from being an official member. You have access to a bunch of services that are provided by CSC, which include having your own like mail address, having your own, there's several streaming platforms that you can use, like Icebox. I believe we have that set up. If you want to use Mattermost, that's something that's available to you as well. And a lot of computing power. You can even host your own website.
You get basically like a server where you can run any program you want, which typically, like, let's say AWS, Amazon, and they would cost you a lot more. So $2, like, $2 for 4 months, definitely cheapest anywhere.
Yeah. But yeah, after becoming a CSC member, you should receive an @csclub.uwaterloo.ca address, which is pretty neat. Yeah, I think that is it about the official membership. Did I miss anything? Is there anything else we should mention? I guess, should we go over kind of what it's like to be a part of like the internal committee at CSC and what's available there?
I guess before, if anyone has questions about the stuff we talked about so far,
Yeah.
either unmute or post in chat if you do.
Callan has also shared the Discord link or the link to our Discord server in the chat. So yeah, please join if you want to see what we're up to and whatnot.
Yeah, like Colin said, we have a lot of incoming students, so you can kind of make friends, people in your year as well.
Mhm. Okay, yeah, if anyone has any questions and you don't want to unmute to say them, please put them in the chat. You can even privately message Callan, Neil, or I if you want the question to stay anonymous. But the Discord link isn't working. Oh,
Oh, wait.
is it not? It worked. I just clicked it. It seemed to work for me.
What are you saying, Liz?
Yeah.
Like I click accept invite and then it says like unable to accept invite.
Huh.
I wonder, try out a different URL or different invite.
I'm doing it on Chrome. Like, should I try it in different browser maybe?
Maybe that could help. It's working for me on Chrome right now. So yeah, maybe try it on a different browser. We also have, I think, /UWCS Club. Is that one still active?
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
use
yeah.
for now.
This is our nice link, but we don't know how long we'll have it for. But you can use this now.
If you can't get it working, like sometime, feel free to email us and we'll help you out figure out later as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
We'll have, I think there's a link. I think there's a, yeah, there's an email on the get started page, I think. So you can email us there. We'll help you out.
Yeah.
But yeah, does anyone have any other questions or anything that they wanted to, ask us about CS Club, our experience, anything? I guess while we wait for questions then, I'll quickly go over kind of what the process is for joining the internal CSC, which is like basically the committee that runs CSC from behind the scenes. So yeah, there are, I guess, three subcommittees, 3 or 4 at the moment. There's the program committee, there's the systems committee. At the moment, we have a website committee, and there's also our design team, which is part of, I guess, the program committee. But yeah, I'll start with the program committee. This committee is split into even more teams. We have events, marketing, class reps, we have Discord mods, we have design. Is that it? I think that's it.
Just
Yeah.
like 5. Yeah.
Yeah. And each one is pretty self-explanatory. Like events is in charge of planning and executing events. So all the events that you see that are hosted by CSC are made by the events team. Marketing is in charge for any type of promotions or managing our social media, anything like that. So if you see posts on our Instagram, on our Discord announcements channel, on Facebook, all those are done by our marketing team. So yeah, if you ever want to DM us on Instagram or something, you'll be reaching out to one of the people on marketing. But then we have the class reps. Class reps is the liaison between like each year and CSC. So we have like class reps for 2022, 2024, 2025, right? Like every year. And the goal is to communicate what the class is feeling and what the class needs, and then hopefully we'll be able to run events and support each class the best way that we can. Class reps are also talking with the MassDoc reps to help students with academic support. So recently we there's a thing about course load in terms of math 239, I believe, and CS 240, and the reps are working very closely with the MassDoc reps as well as the general student body to kind of bring up issues to the professors and actually have actionable I guess results. The Discord mods, handle the Discord. They make sure that it looks pretty and that everything is staying orderly, no bullying's happening, anything like that. But they also work on some things behind the scenes, like we have a Discord bot that hopefully will be available to everyone soon, but they've been working on that as well. And then there's the design team, who has made all of our graphics. So the slides you saw today, that was made by the design team, at least like the images were. All our social media, like images, anything like that, that's our design team. And we are currently in the process of reconstructing our website, and that was also designed by our design team. So yeah, that's program committee. Did someone want to take like a syscom or a website?
Yeah, I can talk about those. So one of the things you mentioned is that we provide servers and web hosting and email and blah blah stuff. We actually have a mirror. So if you download, let's say like a Linux installation, you'll probably download it from us. And a lot of UW clubs actually host our website on our servers as well. And so all that requires people to maintain them, because update the servers and maintain them. So we have a committee called systems committee that maintains all those systems and make sure those are functioning fine and kind of safe and whatnot. And then this term, we're also redesigning our website and making a new version of it. So we have a committee kind of just to kind of help write the code for that and design it.
Jumping ship from that topic, we have a couple questions that I guess since we're upper years, we're kind of fit to answer. I guess first question, any tips for CS 135 or 115, or I guess first year programming courses?
So CS 135, that's Racket, right? Dr. Racket. So for most people will probably have not heard of this, but it's called a functional programming language, right? That's what it's called. And essentially everything is like recursion. There's no like variables. I know this sounds really crazy, but it's a very interesting course. It really helped me understand like the concept of recursion a lot more in depth than I would have otherwise. If you want to Google like functional programming, just to kind of get a grasp of what that looks like, that would be like a pretty good tip. But I remember back when I was at first year, I was talking to my professor, and they explicitly are teaching Dr. Racket because they want to kind of even the playing field, so that people that have several years of programming with Python, or I guess Python is 115, right? But yeah, for specifically 135, it's a very different approach to programming, and I think it's very interesting. Any tips? Make sure you understand the material and like talk to your classmates about it. Ask your professors. Go to office hours. I think in general, first year, the difficulty is the transition into like the university lifestyle, not necessarily the courses. It just kind of compounds on each other. So yeah, that's kind of what I have to say about it.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I think with 1 through 5, it's definitely like a different way of thinking. It'll seem kind of weird in the moment, but I think it helps you approach programming in a different way. And you'll probably not do Racket past first year. Most people don't, but I think it's useful to learn and to understand, because I don't know, the foundations of like what you're learning in 1 through 5 is useful afterwards. And I guess like tips, just, I don't know, try to understand everything. Try to not go in with any like preconceptions of what you think you know about programming. Just, I don't know, absorb everything and learn that way. I think it's better. Otherwise, like you end up creating more roadblocks for yourself if you think, oh no, but the code should work like this. And then yeah, it's just it's weird. So try to have an open mind when you're going into your first year courses. Yeah, I don't know. Neil, did you end
No.
up taking like some sort of like first year programming course?
I did, yeah, but ours was very different.
Mm,
It was just C++.
damn.
Damn, right
Nice.
into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for 115, neither Callan nor I nor Neil have taken it. But I think the same concept applies. Just study hard, make sure you pay attention in lecture, Hopefully you'll have or you'll meet some people in your class that you can discuss assignments with and kind of help each other understand concepts. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question, Sizzle. Did we want to move on to the next one then?
Yeah.
Okay, Liz, do you recommend using / learning LaTeX in your first year? What do you guys think?
I don't think you need it. I know a lot of people who have never used it, like even now, and they're fine. I used it. I wrote my resume in LaTeX from first year. I think it was a good choice. It's a lot easier to maintain, and it looks kind of nice. Like there's a distinctive LaTeX look that people kind of recognize. So I think it's fun to learn, and I think it's sort of useful. So I wouldn't say no, but I don't think you need it per se either.
Yeah, I think like at some point, like it depends because like, okay, I definitely didn't learn it until like middle of second year or something. Like you don't need it really. You could just do everything on paper or just like through some other program. But I think like Overleaf and stuff has a bunch of like resume templates that uses LaTeX, so you might as well like get introduced to that if you do use one of those resume templates. But I think at some point, like there's assignments that require like graphs and stuff, and like you might end up actually like spending more time doing like the LaTeX work for it rather than just like drawing like a line and like a circle. So I don't know. It's like it's like the initial cost of like learning LaTeX versus just like being able to do it fast, but it looking kind of ugly.
If you have free time and you want to learn it, I would say yeah, go for it. It's definitely like it has some benefit for sure, and it's kind of fun. I enjoy writing LaTeX occasionally. So if you're interested, it sounds cool to you, just do it. But don't feel obligated to do it. I guess is my way of putting it.
Yeah.
Eventually you'll have to learn how. I think in some courses they actually like it's mandatory for you to submit your assignments in LaTeX. I think like Colin said, sometime in second year, that kind of becomes mandatory. But I personally like once I started using it, you pretty much use it for all my assignments. And if I need to draw a graph, I'll just draw the graph, take the picture, and then import it into my LaTeX, and then have like the image. I just really like how like clean assignments look, right? And it's really nice when you like have a math block and it's like all nice and like I don't know. I think it's very, very satisfying using LaTeX. So I guess my transition was like I started taking notes on my laptop, so I learned more how to use Markdown. I got like okay at that, and then I realized that like oh these like math assignments, like I wrote all my like Lineage 2 assignments or something, like math 235 on LaTeX, and so I even wrote my exam on LaTeX, and then I submitted that. So yeah, for me it's like it's good because it lets me think while I type because I'm not like extremely fast at it. It's like I'm like writing things out and like thinking at the same time, right? But if I'm thinking, I can't write as fast as I'm thinking, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm setting up like all the boiler while I'm thinking, and then I have the answer, and then I'll just fill it in. That's kind of how it works for me.
Yeah, I was a degen. I did not. I just I wrote everything out. Prof was like, "What is this symbol?" I'm like, "I swear that's like a lambda or something." But also pros of LaTeX is like profs can't really I don't know, misinterpret something because everything is nice and neat.
Mhm.
Okay, next question. So how to succeed in the program if I don't feel confident about the math compared to programming?
I think so. So first year and I guess second year kind of too are the more math heavy years. After that, you don't have to take any math if you don't want to. There's like some stat courses that you have to take as well, which are kind of mathy, but it's not like as intensive as your calculus courses or your lineage courses. I think a lot of people kind of feel the same as you. They aren't very confident in their math abilities, but they enjoy programming. And I think if you've gotten into the program, you're already set. You're definitely um, not to say that those that didn't make it in aren't smart enough, but you're definitely smart enough. And you, as long as you put in the work, I think with math, something that really helps me is to like do a lot of things by hand and like do a lot of examples and things by hand. So if I'm learning a concept, I'll just do like 5 or 6 practice questions on it and then kind of nail down what it really like means and like how the theory really works. But yeah, I also spent a lot of time. I remember for our in our 1A term, they redid the math 137 curriculum, and it was insane. It was like the most difficult thing I ever did. I had so many friends that seriously were considering like, is this the right program for me? Because I just can't do calculus apparently. And something that helped me and helped a lot of my friends was just to go to office hours. There's a lot of really helpful tutors there that can kind of help you answer any questions you have about the course or about the assignment you're working on. And yeah, like find like a study group to work with. Actually, Callan was in one of my study groups for math 135 in first year. That's kind of how we like became friends. We were just like working on assignments and kind of studying together. So yeah, the math is not easy, but I think if you put in the work, it's not too bad either.
Yeah, my tip is that like a lot of times the problem sets are either optional or like worth very little. Like sometimes they're worth like 1%. So it's not very much at all. Or sometimes a lot of courses the problem sets are like considered optional. Don't treat them as optional. Treat them as required. Even if the prof says you don't have to hand them in, do like you tell yourself I have to do them no matter what, because like at the end of the day, like if you don't do them, you'll probably do worse in the exam than you if you do them. So like if prof gives you a problem set, just do it anyway. Because I like that's what I've noticed from math courses where the courses where I did the problem sets, I did much better because the exam questions are often very similar to the problem set, at least like at a high level. And so if you do the problems and you kind of like do them every single one and not just look at the answer, but actually try them yourself before looking at the answer, for example, you'll be a lot more prepared.
That's fair. That's actually good advice. I don't think like me as a first year would follow that and be like, holy, there's too
Yeah.
much work.
Right. Well, like
Yeah.
occasionally you're busy and you don't do film, that's fine. But like try to attempt all of them because like in high school, the assignments are you have to hand them in for marks, and if you don't hand them in, you'll get a bad mark. Here, like a lot of times, you don't even you don't have to hand them in at all. They just say, here's a problem set, do them if you want to do them. But you have to think about it as if it is due, because effectively, unless you're like super genius, which most of us aren't, you kind of have to practice.
Yeah. A little asterisk there is don't overwork yourself. I've definitely like if if the prof tells me it's optional, there's definitely been courses where I'm like,
yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, sometimes the prof will give like 30 questions, which is probably too many, but
yeah, you can
like
pick
one
and
way
choose
to
a
do it is
couple.
like do maybe 1 or 2 easy ones, 1 or 2 hard ones, 1 or 2 medium ones, something like that. But just like put an honest effort to actually try them.
Yeah.
With me, math I think was the hardest part about this whole degree. Like after second year, I was like, this is a little better. Although like programming then ramps up and you spend like all of your time doing programming assignments, but math was a big struggle. Math 137 was like calculus, so math 136 and 135 were proofs, but 137 was like integrate this, derive this, like
But it was not as easy as that. It was very convoluted.
yeah,
I
it was
remember.
like this epsilon reaches this point.
Yeah.
It's like if you talk to
For
anyone in
all
like
epsilon greater
22
than
right now,
zero
it's like
exists a delta. Holy.
yeah.
Oh my God. Wait, that actually just sparked more flashbacks. I'm sorry.
Reaches the epsilon. But yeah, it's just if you haven't taken like AP Calc BC or something, you probably have not seen it. And it's just like super different concepts. It's not proofs. Just like I don't even know how to explain
It's
it.
wild.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
just
quite
wild
wild.
stuff. But yeah, I didn't do very well. I think like my APs carried me a little bit. So like 137 for me was like 137, 138 was like fine. But I think in general, like my marks were pretty low. Like I think my math marks have always been pretty low. And I think one thing to, I don't know, keep in mind just for like your own mental health and success, is that your marks can be pretty low. Like they can't be like where mine were. Like I was getting like 60s and 70s. And I was like a, I don't know, straight A student in high school, right? So it hurts, but I think it's okay. Like it's definitely okay if like your marks are low and it, I don't know, just make sure you like learn the material, make sure you kind of like get it after the tests and stuff, after the marks come out. Because they pop up sometimes. They're not used very often, but they pop up in like later terms. Yeah, just take it easy and try and meet some friends that will help you through it and are not like, I don't know, that make you feel good about like, you know, schoolwork and stuff. Um, and then try to work together and hopefully you'll get through. It's like it was a struggle. Yeah. Anyone else have any other questions for us? We're here for like the next 20 minutes. All right, here we go. What were
Cool.
your first year experiences like?
All right,
Let's
hit him,
get the
Cal.
tea. Let's get the tea. Oh my god. Okay, my first year experience was like, it was a mess, bro. It was a mess. It was like first like getting destroyed by marks like made me really, really sad. I've only come to accept it in like, I don't know, like probably third year or something. But like getting destroyed by marks sucks. My marks are so low, and I don't know, I just spent a lot of time like studying, but I think like studying in the wrong way. Like the ways that I studied in high school didn't carry over very well. Um, and it just meant like a lot of like, I don't know, diminishing returns regarding like studying. Like, I don't know. Um, I, I feel like a good tip to come out of that is like try to figure out like what works for you and how to like study better and how to like actually understand things. Because it's definitely different than just like memorizing. Um, and also like be wary of your mental health. But otherwise, I think it was pretty chill. Like I met a lot of cool people, met a lot of my closest friends now, and yeah, it was fun. Like I was able to live on res. Um, it was okay. There was drama here and there, but it was okay.
My first year experience was the best. Like, so like I remember, I think in high school, the reason I did like, kind of did okay and like was on track, so in high school there's a lot of structure and my parents are around. So, for example, I wouldn't sleep. My parents would make sure I was awake by a certain time, so I would make it to school, blah, blah, blah. When I got to university, there's none of that, right? Like it was me, telling myself waking up on time and doing everything. And I did not handle that freedom well. So like I like my sleep schedule was completely ruined. I missed so many lectures because I woke up too late for them, and like I procrastinated and everything. It was so bad. Like I didn't handle the freedom well at all. And because I was used to my parents and like the high school structure kind of provide like kind of keeping me on track. So that was pretty bad, I think.
Neil started the story with, "It was great," like
No,
my
I said
life was in ruins.
No, so it was a mess. Sorry, it was a mess.
He opened with, "It was a mess."
But yeah, so there was that. Let's see. It was like overall, I still had a good time. Like I made a bunch of friends and like I applied for jobs, had some co-ops. But yeah, the biggest memorable part is me like not handling the freedom well at all.
Mhm.
So I guess if you're that kind of person where like you're relying on your parents to keep you on track, find a plan to kind of set your own schedule when you're on your own.
Yeah.
Or just go through it like Neil's first year.
No, I don't think I want anyone to go through how bad I had it then.
My first year was like pretty okay actually. I was really like excited to, I guess, start university. I was like after finishing high school, I remember at grad like people were crying and stuff, and I was like, I'm ready to move on. Like I'm ready to go to university.
I agree.
So I thought it was really fun. It was definitely like a change of pace. Like Neil said, you are in charge of your schedule, right? So waking up on time to get to class on time, to doing your assignments on time. So all these things, like everything is up to you, right? So something that really helped me was joining a club. I didn't join any like academic clubs or anything. I joined like an arts club. I joined a cappella, and our rehearsals were like every Wednesday or something. But my lineage assignments or like my math assignments or my CS assignments or something are also Wednesday night. So if I didn't finish them before they were like due, I wouldn't be able to go to rehearsal basically. And so by virtue of me wanting to go to rehearsal and having these courses, I was like, suddenly my time management was like so good. And I didn't even think about it until like after the fact. Like I thought about this in second year, third year. I was like, wow, like literally because I joined a club that had, club meetings, for example, that I didn't want to miss. I would like start assignments as soon as they came out, and I'd make sure that if I had any questions, I'd ask early, and then I'd finish the assignments like on like Monday, even though they were due Wednesday, and then I would just be able to like, um, you know, kind of have a healthy study life, like lifestyle throughout the week and throughout like the first couple terms. So I would recommend joining like some clubs that you're interested in. I think a lot of people get suffocated doing like, oh, if I join this club, it's for my career, and I need to like build something, or I need to like contribute something big and stuff. I joined a club where you sing in a group, in a circle, and it wasn't academic at all. But oddly enough, I actually got to talk about it several times in my interviews, and people were like really interested. I have a friend that he was like the leader of my group, and in one of his interviews, they asked him to sing, and he's a really great singer. Um, like if they did that to me, I'd probably like end up stuttering or whatever because I'm not prepared for that. But he doesn't care, so he was like, sure. He actually ended up getting the offer. Don't know if it was because he sang or not, but makes you an interesting person that you have like interests outside of just programming or CS and whatnot. So yeah, join clubs, and try to have as much fun with it as you can. First year feels like so long ago, but um, I can't believe it's like I'm in fourth year now. So join intramurals, join whatever, start working out, get fit, go on runs, do anything you can to have a good time. That's kind of, yeah, my little take on that.
I feel like I remember this. Like I'm pretty sure in first year I tried the whole like I, started stuff early, but you started stuff really early. Like you were like Callan. Like I feel like I remember getting questions from you like, what's this? And I'm like, I haven't even gone to that question. And I start early. But yeah.
I
Anyways,
also had some friends that started like when I did for no other reason than to start early. Like he wasn't in any clubs, but he also started early. So that it kind of, helped me stay motivated. But yeah, first year experience was good. I enjoyed it. I don't know. I like the independence.
like the other years are probably better. First year's
Okay.
just so much happening. Like I feel like I don't know, you're coming in, it's like so many changes, all the courses for some reason are hella hard.
Yeah. My marks also dropped. Oh, I remember one time it was like a math 135 midterm, and I thought I aced that. I was so confident. I was like, that's literally like 95 plus. Like there's no way. And I was sitting in the tutorial center, which is like where the office hours are, and around like a group of other like 7 dudes. All of us were just like, yeah, we're sick. Like exam was easy. We all got the mark at the same time, right? Because like they all came out, and then everyone just staring at their phone, and no one said anything. I got like a 70 or something, or like a 72. That was like my lowest grade I've ever received ever. And I was just like,
What the that's yeah.
yeah, but I was expecting like a 95,
Okay,
right?
that's fair.
And I
That's
got
fair.
like
At
a
that point,
72.
yeah.
Yeah. And then like my other friend was like, yo, like how'd it go? Because he also said he did well. He really did do well. He got like I think 100 maybe. And I was like, it's been better. That like I remember that moment like really like humbled me, and I was like, okay, well, okay, I clearly have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
But
I don't know, for everyone's information, I have gotten like courses where like you get curved, right? So your mark increases. And I failed the quiz or I failed the midterm, whatever, and they curved me and I still failed it. Like it's like you can't get worse than I'm like, god damn, they curved us like 20%. I really failed this. But yeah, anyways, So, I guess what are everyone's favorite courses?
Mm.
My favorite course was elementary number theory.
What
So the course code is pure math 340, but it's not a pure math major course. It's intended for like even if you're not a pure math major and you're like not as like intense because it is pure math. Most pure math courses are pretty hard. This one's kind of more like the name implies elementary and more introductory. I basically call it Math 135 Part 2. So if you really enjoy Math 135, I would highly recommend elementary number theory. But it's basically like looked at random theorems about like numbers. So like prime numbers, divisibility. It was a very like fun kind of very different course from what I day to do. Day to day I write code or learn about that kind of stuff. So it's a very much like exploratory. There's a lot of interesting theorems and yeah, so that was my favorite course. The prof taught it really well. Where like the prof was very interactive. We were back and forth with the students, and it was just like different.
For me, what are my favorite courses? I really enjoyed CS 136, oddly enough, or like that's the one you take in 1B, right?
That one's gross.
I don't know. I thought it was really fun. I thought that was fun. I thought CS 246 was really fun. I thought CS 350 operating systems. I thought that one was really fun. And in terms of like other coding courses, I thought Introduction to AI, also pretty fun. CS 486, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are like the CS courses that I really enjoyed. And then in terms of math, unpopular opinion, I really loved Math 239. It was like at the time one of my favorite courses. I did really well in it too, just because I was so interested. So I was always asking questions, always like trying to understand a little more than what was going on. I just thought it was like super cool. I thought graph theory was really cool. It inspired me to take CO 340 or something, or like introduction to graph theory. CO was it 340? Intro to graph theory. Waterloo. What course number is this? CO 342. Yeah. That course was also really fun. If you're interested in graph theory, I'd recommend taking that. It's just, I just like to visualize how graphs work, and I thought it was a really entertaining course. So yeah, those are kind of my top picks.
Yeah, I also like 239. Math 239 was kind of fun. But let me think. I think my favorite course ever is probably CS 246E with Brad Lushman. One, he's a great teacher, and then it's also like an advanced course. And if you guys aren't aware of like the advanced courses, like I'd recommend you try them out. There's always like you can always like I don't know, like drop down to non-advanced if you don't feel like it fits for you. But it was kind of cool. It was like we had like a mini cohort of like advanced CS people. We were able to like talk to each other as like a smaller group of people. And then there's advanced courses from like the first year stuff. So I took all the CS ones. So like CS 145, 146, and then like my favorite is like 246E, which is I don't even know what like is that object oriented? But that one was just really fun. We made like a copy of Vim. And yeah, I don't know. It was a good course. It taught me a lot. It's probably like the most applicable course out there. Otherwise, like other favorite courses I'd recommend are probably non-CS related. I also like AI. CS 486 is good, but I don't know. I like a bunch of different like I don't know, class 104, like Greek mythology. That was fun. And then stuff like I don't know, Psych 101 is a classic. You have like social psych, interpersonal relationships, and just like I don't know, you can use your electives to your advantage and just like learn about a bunch of cool things. So ooh, oh my God. Okay, wait. We should talk about the communications courses. I don't know. Neil, did you have to do communications courses? Was that a thing for you?
I only had to take one, so I just took English 108, like whatever the 109 is.
109, yeah. That one's like the essay writing one or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also took that. I think I actually took that. That was the course I met Max in. But Yeah, I took 109. I took SBCom 223 because that one, dependent on prof, is like very easy. And I think that was the course that I met Gordon in, actually. Um, so
Sorry.
yeah, but I don't know. SBCom 223 was very chill for us. I think we just did speeches every other week, just talked about random stuff. It was a cool group of people. It was a small group of people. It was like 20, 30 people. And uh English 109 was just like it had to be done. Like that was the second communication course, and I needed to fill a checkbox, but it's okay. You just write some stuff. um, yeah,
Yeah, it's rare for people to say they like their communication courses. Kind of do it because they have to. You might end up finding a few that are interesting. There's one on speech, there's one I think on interviewing, there's one on interpersonal communication. So there's a long list. So I guess look at the list and see any topics particularly interesting too. But if not, just take whatever,
yeah.
check off the box.
You have anything to add to that, Gordon?
I really enjoyed the communication course. Like Colin said, it was 223, right? SPCom 223. Public speaking. I have heard many mixed reviews. It really depends on your teacher.
Yeah.
Our prof was just like middle-aged guy, super chill. Didn't like it felt like a conversation every class. Like it didn't really feel like a class, to be honest.
Yeah.
There were like 3 little projects. One was individual, and then it was like a group of, I think, like 2 or 3, and then a group of like 5, right? And I don't know, every class was very conversational and very, very casual. And I just like thought he was a cool dude. So I really enjoyed that one. But I have other friends that like had to like write many speeches, and it was like very intense, and they had like assignments due all the time. It was very different. But yeah, I ended up taking ENGL 119, I think, as my second communications course, and that's like it was like writing in computer science or something like that. And there was like a whole day where they taught us how to write an email, which I thought was very boring of a day. Because I think I
But
know
now
how
you
to
know.
write, yeah, but now I know how to write an email. So yeah, a lot of these courses, I think it's difficult to get high grades in them because it's very like subjective. Is that the word I'm looking for? Like it depends on the teacher sometimes. It's not like, oh, and there's no like clear rubric all the time, right? So this is just classic with like English, right? Sometimes you hand in a paper and you think it's great, but it's not so great. Same thing with communications courses. But yeah, ENGL 119, relatively easy to, didn't think it was too difficult, and got a like okay grade. So I'd recommend that if you'd like. And yeah, Neil just posted a link in the chat, uwflow.com. If you're curious about profs or courses, you can look it up on there, and they'll give you like a little overview, like if it's easy, if it's interesting, and like some comments on how profs have been teaching it.
And if you guys see Greg Campbell for teaching SPCom 223,
That's my man.
take it. It's gonna be a good course. But otherwise, yeah, I don't know. You taking your chances. It's like Russian roulette at that point. Okay. How were your experiences meeting friends? Was it hard?
You mind if I go first? I have to head out soon.
Yeah, I also have to go soon. So Neil, you can go and then I'll go.
I'll go quickly. Okay, yeah. So like basically, I'm in engineering, so I met a few friends through my cohort. But otherwise, I made most of my friends through CSC. So before pandemic, we had office in person. So I would just go there and meet people there. And I would say it was hard because other than that, it's like you have different courses, people live different places, you kind of have different schedules. So I would say it is hard. So I would say it's on you to kind of keep in, like when you find someone you like hang out with, keep in touch yourself and kind of make sure to follow up and whatnot. And just like just join clubs and go to different events. You'll have to put yourself out a lot. Like in high school, it just happens because you see them every day. It won't just happen in university. You have to kind of put effort into it. But if you do put effort, I think you will make friends.
Yeah, I thought it was a little difficult meeting friends in like CS. I think during orientation, they put you in groups, and if you're in CS, they'll put you in a group with like a bunch of other CS students. And that's kind of how I met some of my friends. But I met one engineer who then proceeded to introduce me to all their engineer friends because they're in the same cohort. So that's kind of a lot of the people that I hung out with in like my first term. I met Callan through, SBCom, and then we, found out we're both CS, taking a lot of the same courses. So then we started studying together, working together. I did acapella, like I said, so I met a lot of some close friends through there that I still talk to this day. And yeah, just like Neil said, join clubs. You have to make an effort to talk to people. It's not just like as easy as it was in high school. But yeah, I think sometimes, okay, I'll tell a quick story. In one of my first CS courses, like first day of class, I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a friend today. I sit down, I get there like 5 minutes early, sit down beside this guy. He's on his laptop, right? Just like doing whatever. And then I'm like, hey, I'm Gordon. Nice to meet you. What's your name? And then they look at me like they're like, they look at me and they look back at their computer. Just didn't even say a word. It was complete like radio silence. And I was like, holy shit. I guess so. I guess that's that. And I got up and I moved to the back. And that, like, I feel like that could discourage a lot of people. It surely, it did discourage me, at least for the remainder of that course. But yeah, no, not everyone is like that. And if you encounter people like that, then they suck. Or maybe they just don't speak your language and they don't suck. But either way, hopefully you don't experience something that I did. And yeah, and then it'll be fine.
Yeah. I think I don't know, you two are free to leave, but I'll just real quick share my experiences of I don't know, it's kind of hard. I think for me, I ended up doing what Gordon did, but like more successfully. Like I think at the beginning of all my classes every term, I'd be like, try to, I don't know, sit down next to someone new and be like, hello, who are you? I need friends. And it worked out pretty well. So like I have a bunch of like good friends from just doing that. But yeah, try to like put yourself out there and try to like grab every opportunity you can to meet someone, and really try to like form good connections, because that will probably be your like social network foundation for the rest of university. So try to, I don't know, meet new people, try to expand your horizons too. And yeah, join clubs, join CSC. That's
Well, and once you meet them, make sure to like stay in touch and just hang out with them. That's also key. Like you're busy at school. Sometimes you kind of forget to do that, but find time to actually like meet up with friends you have met before. Because otherwise, you'll just kind of forget about them because you're busy at school, which is not good.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's it. That's gonna round off our presentation. TLDR, good luck on first year and join CSC. Say hi to us if you see us around.
If you have any other questions, feel free to either like post them on our Discord channel, message one of us, email us, like whatever. Just feel free to contact us somewhere and we'll definitely answer it. Anything else you have.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you guys for coming.
Have a great last summer before
Yeah.
you're in Waterloo.
Yeah, enjoy your summer, please. You won't have any more.
All
All right.
right.
Thanks, y'all.
Bye.